It's now been 2 days since I last filmed, but we're not going to talk about that. We're just going to move along. Drop Dead Gorgeous. Full on crazy. So actually, I have the full size and the mini because they were on sale, and I think both of these palettes are gorgeous. I had one shade arrived broken, so that was unfortunate. And I just feel like these palettes didn't get any hype, like, whatsoever, and I'm not sure why. There are 4 shades that overlap, and I think that black magic, yeah, it looks a lot darker there, but whatever. I just liked both palettes, both really pretty. Like this one, this one, this one. Like, those are really nice shades. I have used the pink recently because I love that pink. But yeah, so I'm keeping both of these. Next, I'll do Colored Rain. I actually just got this palette off Poshmark. The, what is this palette called? Queen of Hearts. I knew that. It never looked that great to me from when I saw it online, but I'm happy now that I have it because it is a really nice palette. Like, I'll do these two. I actually really like it, and I'm really glad I have this palette now. These ones here. A nice like taupey silver and a nice gold. I have so much color in my collection now that I actually do need to now have a few neutral palettes, just for those days that you need a neutral. So keeping that. Very cute. I like it, but I'm gonna declutter it because I'm not a fan of 6 pans. Like, it has to be a really good 6 pan, like the Menagerie Violet Ink, for me to want to keep a 6 pan, and just not it. So, goodbye. My 2 Nomad palettes. This is the Harajuku palette. I love this palette. I'm really happy too because I've gotten a lot of use out of it already. Definitely keeping this. Love this palette. This is my newer one from them. This is Ice and Fire. It was one of those palettes that, like, as soon as I saw it online, I was like, I'm getting it. I don't even need to see anything else. It just like won me over instantly, and I'm so happy I have it. I've made some really fun looks with it already. So let's do this one. Like, I love these colors so much, and I love the contrast between the warm and the cool tones, and just, it really inspires me to think differently about colors that I would want to use together. And that's always a good thing when a palette makes me kind of like change my way of thinking a little bit. Keeping that too. Urban Decay. These are actually my only 2 Urban Decay palettes that I still have. Naked, Ultraviolet, but this palette got a lot of criticism, but I do actually really like it, so I'm keeping that. The Electric palette, which has been discontinued for a while now. This almost got thrown out of my collection before I even started making some YouTube videos because I was just like, I've never used this. And I was like, I'm going to use it at least one time before I decide if I'm going to get rid of it or not. The day that I used it, I loved the look that I came out with and decided that it will be staying with me forever, keeping both of my Urban Decay. Bug. Give Me Glow palettes. I absolutely adore all of these palettes. Vintage Rose, Vivid Rose, and my newest one that I just got is the Sweet and Sticky. Like I said, I've been on a neutrals kick lately just because I don't have very many, so I'm using that as an excuse to buy more palettes again because I need neutrals, you know. These palettes are gorgeous. The Give Me Glow formula is amazing, and I'll keep these probably forever. Here are my Melt palettes. One, I think this palette is actually discontinued. I don't know, but I'm so thankful that I was able to finally get these. I didn't even get them on the like actual launch. I stalked Poshmark for them. I was able to get Vita first. Here's Vita. I'm sure you all know what Vita looks like by now. And then I didn't know if I was ever going to get Muerte. I mean, it was on there, but it was for like $300. There was just no way I could actually talk myself into paying $300 for makeup, at least not for one palette. You know, I was kind of losing hope, but then I logged on to Poshmark and I just checked, like, just in Melt Cosmetics, and this palette had literally just been posted, and that's like the only way you can get it for a semi-good deal. It's like whoever posted it either doesn't want to like overcharge that much or doesn't realize that they could charge that much, which that's probably more likely. So I got this, I think it was like $60 or $70, like basically the original price, but compared to what I was seeing on there, it was so worth it. Happy that I have all three of these, really. I like them all. BH palettes here. This is the Los Angeles palette. I honestly forgot that I bought this palette, and I saw BH recently like was having a sale, and I saw this palette on sale, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should buy that palette. And I talked myself out. I'm like, no, you don't need it. Only to then look at my collection like a few days later and be like, oh, actually I have it already. This is Mimosa Moment, and this is Trendy in Tokyo. I feel like the Trendy in Tokyo one wasn't that great, but I'm still going to keep it because I've only used it one time and I want to use it more. The Mimosa Moment I've only swatched, and I'm really excited to use this more. And I'm excited just to do anything with this palette because I haven't touched it yet. I also have the May palette from BH because my birthday's in May. Do I want to declutter this? Like, I used it already, and I feel like it's like I'm just not into small palettes like this. Like, I just feel really limited when I look at a palette that's this small. I'll have to swatch it again. That one's going to go to maybe. Here are my Ruby May Cosmetics palettes. I have Indica. Really cute little color story here. I've only swatched it. Haven't used it on my eyes yet, but it's super cute. Here's Peppermint Mocha. Yeah, Ruby May was having a sale where literally everything on her site was $5. So I bought all three of these for $5, and I got a nice pair of lashes. And here's the pumpkin spice. Is that what it's called? Spice latte. My bad. I'd never tried them before, and I was so pleasantly surprised. Like, this shade Hot Toddy, you are not going to believe that I got it. This whole palette for $5 when you see this swatch. Like, I'm pressing so gently on it, but it is amazing. Like, I literally was just, my mind was blown by this shadow when I first saw it. It still is. Like, look at that. It's like gold. That shade alone, I feel like, makes it worth the $5. I'm gonna keep these. This is another palette of shame for me because I got it off Poshmark used. The girl that I bought it from had only ever swatched the shimmers. So that's the marks that you're seeing because I actually have not touched this palette yet. Not once. And I'm kind of ashamed, but I want to just take the time to really like enjoy the swatches and, you know, feel inspired by it. Take the time to feel inspired. That's what I want to do. I was watching someone's declutter. They had this Profusion palette, and in their declutter video, they realized it was a dupe for the original, like, Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. I've never had the Jaclyn Hill palette because I'm not really a big fan of her. And also, I haven't really been drawn to any of them. But I figured might as well just try this one and see what it was like. And it's really nicely for the first 3 rows, but this bottom row was a little bit hit or miss. But I haven't tried it on my eyes yet, so I'm going to keep it for now. This is another TJ Maxx palette. Crystal Eyeshadow. I didn't even know the brand, but it had a cute color story. Honestly, I was also very impressed with these. Like, you can see I've dug my finger into them because they're kind of a weird type of formula. Like, it's like almost like a cream. Like, you really have to like dig in there to get it. But I mean, like, look at that for like a nothing brand. Like, no offense. No offense. I mean, it's not that it's a nothing brand. It's just, like, I literally don't know what brand it is. But, like, I'm serious. Like, look at these. They remind me of, like, really good quality indie shadows. Look at that. Like, that's some serious shine going on. Keeping. Next, I have the Nikkie Tutorials palette. I watched Nikki's video where she kind of explained the meaning behind all of the different shades, and she totally sold me on it. I just really wanted to support her, and I wanted to support this palette. I've been pretty let down by it, I'm not gonna lie. The shimmers in here are amazing. They're really gorgeous, every single one of them. These three are my favorite. These more grungy colors. The mattes, like, don't really perform very well. That one here. I didn't get a good swatch of underground. So yeah, I mean, they're very beautiful shades, but I'm probably gonna declutter this one. I don't think I'll miss it. 35V. I like the color story. I figured it was worth a shot. There's nothing wrong with it, but I don't want it anymore. So I have the Retro Paradise palette. I only got this very recently, so I wanted to compare this shade to the Ruby May one. Rise and Shine. Are you the same color? Oh no. They're pretty different. Never mind. Worn it once, but I really liked the look that I did. The Sigma Untamed palette. I was on Sigma's website for some reason. Oh, I think I needed to make a brush cleaner. I was like looking at Sigma palettes. I'm like, do I want to buy one? And I decided, yes, I want to buy this one. So I bought it. And I have not used it on my eyes yet, but I have swatched it, and it's beautiful. Here's my only palette from Fenty Beauty. I think I had a dream the other night that I had the little snap palettes. Pretty sure that happened. This was another palette that I fell in love with, like, as soon as I saw it. I mean, I've had this for a while now, and I've used it a bunch, and I'm planning on keeping it. Pretty new to me also, the Urban Decay Stone vibes. I fell for the hype and I got it, and I mean, it's nice. I only have swatched it. It didn't blow me away. I mean, I haven't used it on my eyes yet, so I need to at least do that first before I make any kind of decision. So these are my two Pat McGrath palettes. This one was on sale at Sephora, and this one I got off Poshmark for a good deal. Kind of hard to use. They're not really standalone palettes, at least this one might be. I haven't tried this one yet. I've used the, what is it even called? I don't understand her names. La Vie en Rose. I've used a bunch, and I do really like it, so I'm going to keep it because the shades are really nice. It's not the most like intuitive palette, but I'll show you. I mean, I'm sure most of you have seen these, but they're pretty, so why not show them again? I will say, like, the formula is outstanding. Sorry, those pinky swatches are a little sketchy, but you get the gist of it. Keep both. 3 Alamar Cosmetics palettes. Let's start with Volume 1, Reina del Caribe. This palette was like a throwaway palette on Poshmark. People like couldn't get rid of it, and I don't know why they were trying so hard because it's actually very pretty. Those shimmers are gorgeous. This one, the Volume 2, I didn't even realize it existed until I watched Amy Loves Makeup. I watched her palette collection video, and she has this, and that's the only way I found out it existed. And so ever since I saw that, I was like determined to find it myself. And then here's the newest one, Spanglish Palette. I haven't used them on my eyes yet. I think I just need to bring them to the surface of my collection and try and make more of an effort to use these. Too Faced Chocolate Gold. I have so many embarrassing makeup stories. Okay, so this one, I first found out about this palette from Tana Mongeau, however you say it. She put up a makeup tutorial, like how to cake your face like a pro. And she used this palette. And ever since that video, and I saw this palette, I wanted it so badly. Not like because I love her so much or anything like that, but I just like was like, whoa, that's such a cool palette. Now, that was years ago, and I just finally got this off Poshmark, surprise, maybe like 3 months ago. And I got it, and I was honestly so let down. It just was not impressive. And I would declutter it, but I can't bring myself to because I wanted it for so long, and even though it didn't live up to my expectation, like, I'm not getting rid of it now. Kind of smells like chocolate still, but not really. So yeah, don't be like me. If you haven't gotten a palette for a long ass time, maybe you're better off without it. With that palette, I have Zion. Love this palette. It's so pretty. And I have the Spongebob palette. And I know Elf just did a collab with Spongebob, but this will always be the OG Spongebob palette. I love this palette too, but the color story is a little bit hard to work with, in my opinion. Here's another colored rain palette, the Power. I have a story for this one too. God, I have so many palette stories. I saw this palette on the Colored Rain website, and it was on sale for so cheap. I want to say it was like down to like $7 or something ridiculous. And I really wanted it, but I told myself no, I didn't need it. I mean, I still don't need it, but then everyone was talking about how nice it was and how good it was, and I was kicking myself for not getting it when I had the chance to buy it for so cheap. But I ended up finding this palette along with the Queen of Hearts palette from the same user on Poshmark, and I bundled it, made an offer, and I think it was a reasonable one. I don't really remember how much. Let's do a couple little swatches here. But it is beautiful, and I'm so glad I have it now. Anyway, I'm keeping this palette. Moral of the story. Lunar Beauty. Here is Strawberry Dream. I love this palette. It's gorgeous. Yeah, I'll swatch. Yeah, I'll swatch. You know it. My goodness, I don't know why I waited so long to get this palette because it's so pretty. And those first two are obviously more like topper shades, but they're just gorgeous. Keeping Moonspell, I keep it in the full packaging because, like, come on, this is just beautiful. Love it. A+ for packaging. This is another really gorgeous palette. Although honestly, like, I don't really like this one as much as I thought I would. I actually like Strawberry Dream better, but I'm still gonna keep it. Here's a custom palette that I made from Lethal Cosmetics. I've only used it on my eyes once, and I was happy with that look. The swatches, I will say, they're not that impressive. Especially like this one, this one, this one, and the two darker mattes. Like, they take a lot of building up. They weren't impressive on their own, and that kept me from using it for a while. I need to use it more, because I can't really have an opinion without trying it on my eyes. Something kind of weird is that May 14th, 1992, like, why is that date on there? Because my birthday is May 11th, 1992. So it's kind of a weird coincidence. Does anyone know why is that there? And this is my only Alien Cosmetics palette. This is the Lore palette. Very, very beautiful. Honestly, it's, like, I don't really have words for it. Just look at it. Keeping it. Certified Tropical Wonders. Like, I just have always loved this packaging. And obviously I like the color story. It's a, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, when something, it's a very comprehensive rainbow palette. That's what I was looking for. You know, like, it has every rainbow color, plus some more. So yes, I like this one a lot. Haven't used it yet, but I like it. I have these two LA Girl palettes. I can't really say why I bought them. You know, the textures, I think, are what drew me in, because they just looked really textured and pretty, and I had seen that the Desert Dream palette was getting pretty good reviews. this one, and this one. And they seem to be like really nice quality, I will say. Like, I can't really complain about them. Oh, and I really like this one. Like, I'm pretty impressed. Nice taupey silver, like shimmery black. It's a little flaky. And then, oh wow, that was a bad swatch. There we go. Like, they're pretty impressive shadows. I'm excited to use them some more. I can say, without shame, I only have it in my collection because of the packaging. Because I love snakes, as you can see. I have a snake tattoo right here. It's not really a palette that I use, though. It's here just to sit and look pretty. And it does that very well. Lime Crime 10-year anniversary palette. I'm not gonna lie, I also bought this one mainly for the packaging. I don't think it's actually like that impressive as far as quality goes, but let's see. Give her a whirl and just see what happens. Got these like glittery mats. Cloud. And Tunicorn. They're not terrible, but they're also not really anything very special. And I think their shades also are like more of a buildable type of formula. Oh, whoops. That was the same color twice. That's why it came out so bad. Sorry. Okay, here's this white. Ooh, that's actually very pretty. I don't know if it's extra pretty because it's on top of a pink now, but I do really like that. And then here's Tunicorn. Whoa. Very sheer, but hopefully you can see some of those sparkle. Okay. I like this palette. I'm going to try and use it more. Norns, another one with beautiful packaging. This is from Odin's Eye Cosmetics. And, I mean, do I really need to even say anything about this? Just look at that. Ugh. Sorry, I'm just looking at it and admiring it. I'm keeping it. Scarlet Dusk, Ace Beauty. I like this palette. I think it's a nice palette, but I never use it, and I don't see myself using it. So, that one's gonna be good. Blooms. So this was my first time trying Alter Ego, and I was extremely disappointed. This shade basically came hard panned. Like, I can dig in there as much as I want, and nothing comes up. So, pretty bummed about that. As far as the other shadows, like, I think the quality is okay, but it's nothing like, I don't know. I just wasn't blown away by it. I guess I should lower my standards a little bit since it's such an affordable brand, but yeah, it just wasn't it for me. So I'm gonna declutter that one. Nabla Cutie. This is the platinum. I'm gonna keep this one because I like these neutrals. I feel like they're fun and very sparkly. And Nabla has really good quality eyeshadows. Lime Crime Venus Immortalis. I think this palette is so cool. Moth. Like, so the thing with Lime Crime is that I feel like their shadows are just a very strange formula. I have to experiment with them to get them to like actually work. I don't think you can see that. Yes, am I having such a hard time? Like that one's, I think that's a really cool shade. It's just like a very interesting like pink sheen to it. It's just different, you know. Like, I understand why people don't like these shadows and don't like these formulas, but I do. I think it's fun, and I'm gonna keep it. Sorry about all the dog hair everywhere. It's my life. 3 dogs. This is pretty new that I just got. The Ravina Collection Mini Pro Pigment Palette Volume 2. So I have this one, and I have Volume 3, and I really like both of them. This one is pretty new to me, so I want to get Volume 1 now just to say that I have 1, 2, and 3. Glam Light Donut Palette. I'm gonna declutter it. I just don't need this in any way. It's hard to store. Like, I do love this color store, and I love the highlight in the middle, but I have fun colors like this elsewhere in palettes that I'm more likely to use than this one. So declutter. Now, this one. What is this thing called again? What is the name? Is it Be a Mermaid and Make Waves? Is that literally the name? Weird. Ugh. This is one that I've kept for the packaging. It smells nice too. I think I'll still hang on to it because I feel like some of these look really nice. Yeah, those are really pretty. This is a nice duochrome, and so is this one. This is kind of more just like a lilac, icy taupe. Yeah, I like that. I think that's a cool, really cool shade. Yeah, these are cool. I'm gonna keep this, and I might even use it. We'll see.